Hi everyone, welcome back. So I'm just about to have lunch. It's only an oven pizza, so I'm not going to show you the process of cooking. So today we've got the plant-based char-grilled veg flatbread pizza. I'm going to be cooking it. So I'm just preheating the oven. You need to preheat the oven to 200 degrees, or if you've got a fan oven, it's 180 degrees and it's gas mark 6 for about 30 minutes. So this flatbread has char-grilled veg, a non-dairy substitute for mozzarella, and is just got tomato sauce like most pizzas basically. It says 1 serving, so portion size is great for me. So also apparently want to eat 5 a day, great, love that. So in terms of veg on the pizza, we have yellow peppers, red peppers, courgettes, onions and spinach. So I'll get back and I'll do a few shots of when the pizza's done, and I'll try and cut up and see how it's like. Okay, so this is what the pizza looks like when it's frozen. It smells quite nice, so I'm looking forward to this.
$346 later.
Welcome back. So I'm going to be making fajitas with some wedges on the side. So I'm going to be using BirdsEye's green Cuisine fajitas, or Mexican style mix basically. This substitute I will just be using half hopefully. And again, trusty potatoes just to make the wedges. So let's get into it. We're going to do the wedges first, because they take longer to cook. Okay, so firstly, what you're going to want to do is you want to preheat your oven to about 200 degrees, and then grab a pan, and you want to layer a little bit of vegetable oil, and then bang that in the oven while it's preheating, so the oil is getting hot, ready for when you transfer the wedges to the oil. Okay, so once you've washed your potatoes, it'll be time to cut them. So we don't need to peel them for this recipe, as skin on is a lot better than plain. So just to cut them into wedges, we'll literally cut them into quarters, and then this basically what I do is a bit dangerous, but you just want to try and slice at an angle. If they're too big, you can always adjust them later. And you got some wedges, because like this one's quite big, I'm just going to cut that into 2. You can pot boil these if you would like, but I usually don't. They probably take about half an hour in the oven, so it's not too much of an issue. I also forget how much one potato can actually make, so I might just stick to the one. But yeah, I'll get back to you once I've finished cutting the potatoes. Okay, for this next bit, you just want to transfer your wedges into a bowl or container. Basically, this is what we're going to be using in order to mix in the seasoning and the oil ready for the oven, because we're not having plain chips. I can tell you that one. So for today we're going to be using paprika, fajita seasoning, a bit of chili powder, some salt and a tiny bit of garlic powder. So first of all, you just want to lightly oil up the chips, or wedges, sorry. Just want to quickly give them a quick stir around, and then a bit of paprika, so we're using fajita just because we are making fajita, so just to keep the flavour the same. That was a bit too much. tiny bit of chilli. Some sea salt. And a small amount of garlic powder. And once you've sorted all that, you just want to again start stirring it all in. You can use your hands for this or a fork. I just prefer not to, as getting oil and seasoning off your hands can be a pain. So once these are all mixed in, I'll get back to you. So once your wedges are finally fully coated, they should look a bit like this, and then we're just going to bang them straight in the oven for about 30 minutes. When doing this, you just want to ensure that they're not on top of each other like they are now. So you could just either use a fork or use your fingers. Just make sure they're all evenly spread out, and you want to put this on the top shelf for about half an hour on 200 degrees Celsius. So around halfway in, you just want to take them out of the oven and just give them a quick flip over. This just help them cook a little bit more evenly. Obviously it depends on your oven's not the strongest, so your wedges might also need a bit more time, or they might need less time. So just make sure you keep an eye on them. Don't follow the 30 minutes to exact. Just use my fingers because it's only me eating them. As well, wash your hands before you cook, especially if you're cooking for a group of people. No one wants your dirty little hands, all I'm saying. So once you've done that, you're going back in the oven. Okay, so once there's about 5 to 7 minutes left on the wedges, you want to start cooking the fajitas because they won't take long at all. So for me, I'm using the green cuisine from BirdsEye, so that's already prepared for me. Seasoning should be fine. I might add a bit more, but we'll have to see. And it's got all the veggies and the chicken place there, which is pea protein, in the bag already. Before, if you was making from scratch, or if you're using actual chicken, then you'd obviously want to prepare that beforehand. I might do a video on this in the future, just to show from scratch, but for now, I'm going to be trying the BirdsEye green cuisine to see what that's like. So once there's about 5 minutes left, we'll get back. Okay, so the wedges have about 5 minutes left. So we're going to preheat our pan. So you want to preheat it to about a medium high. So then you want to add some oil. Again, I'm just using some fry light, a few spirits. Usually you could use some olive oil, but I don't have any at the moment. Once this has started to heat up, we will start adding the mix and then following those directions, but I'll just simply be to warm it up. Okay, so once the pan has started to heat up, you want to add your contents just straight in there. That should be enough for me. And then you just want to make sure you're stirring that around while it's heating through. Okay, so as you can see, there's like these little pellets right here. Right here, I'm assuming they're the sauce that's in this dish. And then you've got your little pieces of pea protein just dotted around, mixed with the peppers and onions. We'll just start giving it a quick mix around. This shouldn't take too long. As you can see, those pellets are now melting away and turning into the sauce that we need for our fajitas. So, because the pellets obviously are the sauce for this, you just want to make sure that everything is getting evenly coated, as there will be a few bits on the edges which haven't been coated at all. So just want to make sure that's fine, and then once that's sorted, you can just let it simmer for a bit and let it cook through. So we'll get back when these start to cook. Okay, so as you can see, it's all started to cook again. It's starting to simmer. So now at this point, our wedges will be done. So what you want to do is just want to turn the heat down on this to the lowest setting possible. So I'm just going to leave this 1. You can just leave it there to let it cook through, and we'll get the wedges out of the oven. Once you've taken your wedges out of the oven, you just want to place them down on a heat-proof surface and then just give them a quick stir just to make sure none of them are stuck. And then these you can either transfer to a bowl or transfer to a plate ready for your fajitas. So once everything's sorted, you want to heat your wrap either in the oven, the microwave, or on the pan, whichever you prefer. I do it microwave, just for a few seconds. You want to either grab some mayonnaise or salsa, and you just want to quickly, I usually just spread the middle part, just very lightly, because there's some sauce from the fajitas that will give it some flavour anyway. And once you've done that, you want to then transfer some of your fajita mix just into the centre. Now you can go as much as you want, as far down as you want. I usually just stick to the middle. And then what I like to do is just grab a few wedges and just plop them straight down there. And I know everyone wraps differently, but it's just like that. You'll be holding it just like this. And that's basically it for this one. So I'll try the food out and get back to you. Okay, so I've just tried the wraps and the wedges. So the wraps are really good considering I'm not a huge fan of pea protein. So I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. And the wedges were of course great because there's not really much you can go wrong when you're cooking potatoes. And so that's it for today. So I hope you guys like this one. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be great. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye.